Good morning, world. I'm back. Another beautiful day in the southern butthole that is called hell, aka Asheville, North Carolina. You can tell I have a lot of love for this place, can't you? Right. Anyway, good morning. Um, let's see. Not a whole lot to talk about. I don't know. By the way, this is Raving Lunatic. Ravin Lunatic. I'm on YouTube. So far, I've only got two people who subscribe to my network. Two people. I would like to have more than two people. I would like to have someone hit the like button. I would like to have several people subscribe to this channel. So, if you're watching, it's again Raven Lunatic on YouTube. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know that there's more than just two people out there watching this. That I'm not the only one. Not the only one doing this, and I've got very few people watching. Um, Basically, what this program, blog, whatever you want to call this about, is basically me just shooting stuff off the top of my head. Anything, not just sci-fi related or fantasy film related, but I talk about almost any everything off the top of my head. Um, right now, off the top of my head, it's Friday morning, the last Friday in this month, if I'm not mistaken. Um, anyway, a few things off the top of my head. Last night, I was talking with my wife. Sadly, live in public housing, and we're trying to move out of there. And to make a long story short, there was this discussion they had about putting some sort of devices in people's homes to monitor smoking, to get them basically to not smoke in their own home. That I am really, 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 really against. Nobody has the right to tell you what you can and can't do in your own house, especially if you're paying outrageous sums of rent, of money to live in a substandard, low-level place like public housing. Well, that's the rumor that I had heard, that they were going to put these devices up in people's homes and make them stop smoking in their own home. That I am against. You have no right to invade another person's privacy, especially if, like I said, they're paying you outrageous sums of money to live in a place that is low level, substandard, and basically ain't worth 2 cents a rat's tail. But having said that, I talked to my wife last night, and she informed me that I guess they're not going to do that. Of course, I'll believe it when I actually don't see it. But she told me that they have changed their mind on doing that. They're not going to do that. That they're going to tell people that if they smoke, they must smoke outside their house. They can go on the back or the front porch and smoke. Um, and the reason for that is they say secondhand smoke it seeps through the air vents in the other people's apartments. It seeps through the sockets in the other people's apartments. And I get that. I do get that secondhand smoke is dangerous. To be honest, I have a daughter that smokes. I wish she didn't. Um, I get that. I totally get that. Having said that, um, I still want to move out of PVA. I still want my family out of the ghetto. Because that's basically all it is. It's a ghetto. Did you know, by the way, that the government originally created ghettos as a way of class separation? Not just race separation, but class separation. It all boils down to this, the almighty dollar. It all boils down to the haves versus the have-nots. And those who have are going to do whatever they want. Those who have not are struggling to get to where the haves are at. But unfortunately, you got a few people whose thinking is so skewed that they would rather nobody has what they've got. And they created the ghettos as a way to control people. Didn't know if you knew that. I kind of knew that, but I wasn't real sure about it. And I say that because it was something I ran across oh God, maybe a little over a year ago, maybe not even that long. It was basically something to do with a comic book being promoted by a brother um, who is promoting his own comic. Um, anyway, to make a long story short, he is supposed to be a historical comic, and it's also supposed to be a comic dealing with, it's basically a black comic book, but I don't even like using that term. But anyway, I ran across this this comic book being promoted by this one brother, who then went on to inform people that the government created the ghettos. And you want to know what? I believe that's true. I look at the history of this country, I look at the history of the world, and we're screwed up. We got this thing where we think some people deserve to have more than others. And those who cannot get what those who already have, those who cannot get what those other people have, are relegated to survive the best way they know how. On one hand, like I said, you got the have-nots who are struggling just to put hand to mouth, be able to feed themselves or loved ones. Then you got the haves who, I'm grateful for working there, but I'm also of the mind that nobody should live above another person and lord it over that person. It's one thing to have money. It's another when you take that money and you live lavishly at the expense of those who do not have what you've been blessed with. I think the purpose of wealth was to be shared with those who do not have. Sometimes I often wonder, why did God create money? Why did he create rubies and diamonds and gold when he knew in his heart of hearts, I feel that when God created wealth, it became a curse. And I think he knew that wealth would become a curse to man when man fell into sin. I just often wonder, why would you create something that you knew was going to eventually bring about our downfall, or be one of the key points in bringing about our downfall? I'm not trying to sound blasphemous or anything like that. It's just that sometimes I think about stuff like that when I see what I see every day at work, and it kind of bothers me to see people who are well off and living lavishly and at very little at the expense of others. Anyway, it just bothers me. That's just something that came off the top of my head. I hope you understand what I'm saying, got what I'm saying. Last night I sat up with my father-in-law and we watched Impact Wrestling. Wow. I was surprised. A lot of young talent. They finally got it. They got rid of almost all the gray heads. I was shocked to see Big Papa Pump, aka Scott Steiner, on the show, and he looked hideously, incredibly old. And oh, I tell you, just looking at him made me think, okay, if he can get on TV still with his old steroid, I mean, if you looked at anyway, I'm sorry, I just run off at the mouth sometimes. But anyway, I sat with my father-in-law and watched Impact Wrestling, and I was really surprised that they had a lot of young talent on there. Not counting Scott Steiner's old butt. Why is he on there? I don't know. But anyway, like I said, I was surprised. I sat there with my father-in-law, and we watched it, and I was surprised at the talent that popped out, that spewed forth. I don't know what they're trying to do, if they're trying to get back some of the talent base if they're trying to get back some of the some of the viewership they lost, if they even had any of the viewership to begin with. But to make a long story short, it sucked that I didn't watch it. Actually, I didn't watch it for a long time. At first, I tried to watch it, and then it got mundane and monotonous and redundant with all the old guys like Kurt Angle, like Suck Hogan, Stink or Sting, all those guys that were on there, and it was killing the promotion. And I guess they finally got it in their head, you know what? This isn't working for us. Let's get rid of all these old guys and get the young bloods in here and let them do what they do best. So I sat down and watched. I was genuinely surprised, a bit pleased. Having said that, I don't know if I'll continue watching Impact. If they keep doing what they're doing, keep the young talent out in the front and forward and keep pushing for them to do their thing, then I may go back to actually attempting to watch Impact Wrestling. I know their original name was Totally Nonstop Action Wrestling, or TNA. Some people were joking, calling it Totally No Action Wrestling, which sadly it was, with the likes of Suck Hogan and not what. Anyway, now that all them old guys that seemingly are all gone and they're pushing forward the new talent, I guess they changed their name to Global Wrestling Network, I think. They changed their name. I heard they bought out Dixie Carter and took over the promotion, and I was really surprised. I really was surprised. So having said that, I was really surprised with what I saw. Let's see, what else? I want to get some of you guys' thoughts on I guess I want to get some of you people's thoughts on certain movies that have come out or are about to come out. In fact, I'll tell you what I really want to get. I want to get some of you guys' thoughts about, I don't know if you saw it yesterday, it was announced on YouTube that Disney paid $71 billion to get the rights to X-Men from Fox Network or Studios, whatever you call them. I want to know what some of your thoughts are. I was surprised to hear about this, and to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Disney. I'm not all that crazy about Disney. They, in my mind, are one of the reasons why I feel the country is in the mess it's in, is that you got all these corporations grasping, grabbing, and squeezing the life out of the smaller businesses, or the businesses are struggling, or basically not helping those who are in need. You got too many damn corporations out here, and they all need to be put in check. So having said that, I'm sitting up here a little miffed about what I saw on YouTube in regards to this news broadcast about Disney having paid $71 billion to get back the rights to a comic book called the X-Men, originally created under Marvel. They basically took that money and bought back the rights. But unfortunately, I don't know how many of you read the disastrous storyline of a Civil War, the first one, where they had Spider-Man reveal his identity, where they had the Hulks drifting into space. And anyway, the storylines were messed up. I felt Disney was at fault for that. I felt Joe Quesada was definitely at fault for that, along with several other key figures in Marvel. And then comes this SJW agenda, this social justice warriors crap that we're pushing off on almost every single storyline and every single comic, to the point where I didn't even want to read Marvel comics. I hadn't read them for a while. I only read certain trade paperbacks pertaining to the 70s, 80s. Like I got Tomb of Dracula, Volume 2. I also got some storylines such as the brief introduction or reintroduction of the Thunderbolts, stuff like that. I've been reading a lot of independent comics more than anything. I've been reading stuff by Boom or by IDW or by lesser known independent comic book companies. I'm over here waiting on the bus, and apparently there's some couple out here. I don't know if they're what's going on. Apparently I don't know if their car broke down, if they're homeless or what, but apparently the police had to pull up, and one of the people is a man and a woman. They are, I don't know what's going on. All I know is that this town is wacky, it's crazy. This guy is acting out in front of a cop. I don't know if he's on drugs or if he's raging about something. Anyway, I'm kind of tired of North Carolina. And I'm kind of tired of, I'm definitely tired of North Carolina. I'm extremely definitely tired of Asheville. And one of the things I'm hoping to do is some way, somehow get our hands on some transportation so we can get the hell on up out of here, if only for a couple of days or something. Anyway, I'm getting ready to go into this job, which I'm not real happy about. By the way, pray for me and my loved ones. My wife was released yesterday, yesterday from hospice. She's doing okay. Please keep her in prayer. Ask God to, if it's His will, to please deliver my wife of this dreadful disease of cancer. Pray for all the people who are struggling and fighting with cancer. It's sad that we live in a country that supposedly had a cure for cancer and then turned around and decided we're not going to give it away. We're going to make people pay for it. We're going to shut them up with drugs and with surgery and basically make them pay for their health versus trying to give it to them for little or what else? That's about it. I'm a little tired. I haven't had no coffee. I had one shot of coffee, and that's about it. Anyway, I'm getting ready to watch this tableau continue to unfold. Some couple being stopped by the police. Somebody's car is stalled, and it looks like another person's over there. I don't know if this is the owner of the car or if the couple are the ones that own the car or what. Anyway, like I said, y'all have a good day. I will see y'all when I see you. Peace out.